I welcome all our teachers and staff members of Mahatma Education Society who have tuned in for our event today. Another Teachers' Day has dawned. Another September 5th. This time the year is 2021. I know it has been celebratory years in the past with festive lunch, music, dance, and talents showcased by our very talented teachers. But the whole ecosystem has changed after the pandemic hit the world. The education ecosystem has changed too. And we have been trying to slowly adapt to the changes. In-person teaching has changed to online teaching. The beautiful state-of-the-art infrastructure that we have built are now deserted. The feeling of having a campus atmosphere with students milling around in the open spaces and bumping into each other in corridors, greeting each other in the cafeterias, the classrooms, the courtyards, or in the quads is being truly missed. We have also lost some close and dedicated staff members. And here is a video made to remember those beautiful souls. We miss their presence and hope they continue to be our well-wishers from wherever they are, and may their souls rest in peace. And we go forward from here and learn how to survive and teach ourselves and others skills that will enable us to cope in this new world. Being an educationist, I was recently asked to write a blog for an international website affiliated to the United Nations on the occasion of International Literacy Day, which falls on September 8th. And that set me thinking, is it okay to define literacy today in the traditional way of being able to read and write only, identifying alphabets and comprehending words, but a part of being illiterate in the pre-COVID era? The answer to this question in today's conditions is a definite no. Things have changed and we have entered a new age, a digital age, where every staff member has to be equipped with digital skills to face the challenges of the future. Literacy today must encompass digital literacy. A few days ago, I had a meeting with our support staff. I mean, some of our wonderful Maushis at Dr. Pillai's campus in Sector 16. Though most of them were equipped with smartphones, of course, some of them did not even have one. Yet, they were not literate about how to use digital methods of communication like instant messaging, making photo transfers, doing online searches, and the use of social media. These digital skills must percolate to all in our workforce for them to meet the challenges presented to us by the pandemic. Another focus should be on emotional literacy. During the pandemic, which resulted in home isolation, mental health was affected badly. Students and staff had to reorganize their homes, both physically and mentally, to create space for themselves and others. Depression set in, students became suicidal. There were a lot of rifts, clashes, and violence experienced at homes. Thanks to our counselors who kept themselves at the disposal of those experiencing mental health issues, we were able to ease many a troubled mind and keep them focused and occupied. Teaching our students emotional literacy will help them recognize a distressed peer and empathize with them. Having an empathetic approach towards everyone, trying to put ourselves in their places and in their situations will go a long way towards addressing mental health issues. I'm very, very proud to say that none of our teachers or institutes stayed idle during the pandemic. They continued with full force and strength to organize webinars and other enriching programs online. The management signed an MOU with Coursera, and faculty were able to enrich themselves with short-term programs from the top universities in the world, like Harvard, Princeton, University of Michigan, Stanford, and others. Both faculty and staff enrolled for these programs and got themselves skilled in various disciplines. Many teachers undertook research work, and some of them published papers in international journals, were editors of reputed books, and some of them even published books through reputed publication houses. Institutes encouraged students to participate in online competitions and won laurels for themselves and recognition for the institutes. We also found novel ways and means of reaching out to the marginalized through our social outreach, which was done through the Panvel Gurudwara, the Don Bosco Center at Nerul, the Sister Adonis Orphanage, and others. With the changing times, our staff thought of ways and means of donating towards charity through virtual means, creating a registry with Amazon, and donated food grains and foodstuff to various needy NGOs. Our heads and staff members came across brilliant ideas to do this activity. There was never a dull moment for anyone. But that is a culture that MES has created over the years. The Community Service Day and the outreach programs that our various institutions have been conducting over the years. The blood donation drives, the cleanliness drives at the Panvel railway stations and other stations, the environmental issues of the dying talavs in Panvel, project of which has been taken up by our architecture college, the building of toilets in rural areas. Now, this culture has percolated throughout our various institutes. And though the pandemic crippled all of us badly in some way or the other, the need of making the world a better place was visible in all of you who reached out to others in so many diverse ways. I can go on and on about our wonderful teachers and their immense contribution to Mahatma Education Society and to the world. But we'll leave that for another day. I'm sure you must be all waiting to hear our founder and Dr. K.M.Vasudevan Pillai address to you all. Happy Teachers' Day. We sincerely hope we are able to work around this crisis and celebrate occasions like today with all of you in person.
Can start now. Good evening to you all. Why don't you say good evening? Daphne must have been briefing you about what has happened, and the people who have been with us for quite some years and now left. But then let me assure you that we have taken care of all the aspects of all the people who have gone away from our systems, and we hope that their souls may rest in peace. Last year, I spoke to you about Teachers' Day. At the point of time, I thought that we'll come out of this pandemic within 1 or 2 months' time. So from last December onwards, 20 December onwards, 19 December onwards, January onwards to, I'm thinking that it may be over the next few months. And we planned everything according to the thinking, according to the anticipation that we will be out of all these problems in 2, 3, 4, 5 months' time, because it's the longest difficult period of our times compared to earlier years. We never had a situation like this up till now, and therefore it becomes very difficult for us to predict what is going to happen in the future. It is in this context that we should now look back and see how we can face the realities of the current problems that we are facing. Institutionally, we are online. We are providing online education, and practicals have not been started in Maharashtra state. Though some district places, they have started something. But in some states of India, I'm happy to inform you that they are working fully. They are fully functional. And here, somehow or the other, things have not taken shape. And our competitive examinations have not been conducted. Admissions have not been started. And we didn't find any fastness with which the government should move forward for the fulfillment of these starting the current academic year. There is always a first list, a second list, and a third list, and a fourth list, and a fifth list, and a sixth list, and a seventh list. Though there are less number of students for admissions in very many higher education programs. Somehow or the other, the entire country is incapable of visualizing or understanding what will be required for tomorrow. What will be the kind of educational instructions that we should provide for children to get employment in the new changed age. Some countries have started this kind of program, but somehow or the other, we are still with the Macaulay's ideas, and we still continue with Macaulay's principles and practice of educational systems. In and around 2000, I toyed with the idea of starting, education up to standard 7th or 8th, so that we teach them everything: reading, writing, arithmetic, science, physics, maths, everything. And then in the 8th or 9th onwards, we should be able to put them to any program, whether it's SSC, CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, IB, or anything, according to the abilities, according to the needs and according to the mental capabilities of the children. But somehow or the other, the CBSE said, no, in our building, there should not be any other program. ICSE said the same thing. And everybody is always talking that there should not be any other program in our institution, as though that's how the system works. But throughout the world, anywhere, any kind of program, you can start according to your needs, according to their abilities. And that system is yet to find its way here in India. So 8th onwards, we could have started skill training programs as it is done in Germany or any other place for that matter. But it has not been happening, and we have we don't think of such a moment to take place. Let me tell you, if you start training children right from inception, if we look at the great inventors of the world, the great writers of the world, everybody, see, even Ford, for that matter, worked with somebody, father or parents, in the workshop along with academic studies. Unless you get exposed to right from childhood to an environment which is creative and constructive and practical, children, when they grow, the environment is not created and they will not be able to do it. And we still have that kind of problem in India. Our practicals are not being conducted for the last 1 or 2 years, and students have passed some colleges, students of 2 years programs have been passed, they were passed out without any program at all, especially in design technology and so many other areas. Only on online they have passed out the examinations, and still we find students failing. And we also have introduced online system of education. Is like this, that how many people are present today? 350. Now, when you take classes online, you must always see to it that people look at you, so that you will know that there will be 50 or 60 students in the class. See, today, out of the 2,000, we have only 350 people watching me or listening to me. And this can happen even in your regular classrooms. So therefore, it's very important for us to understand that children should be made alert and active, and we should become very interesting for children to do it. Now, the kind of educational system that we provide is not very conducive to the modern day culture. And we will not be able to showcase our country as a manufacturing institution. That is the reason why we don't have, employment for students. All over the country, we have a large number of people on contract basis. In all developed countries, especially in Europe or America or any country for that matter, state is the largest employer. State is the largest employer, and it is here we are trying to create contract workers for the state. And therefore, it becomes very important for us to find out how to face the realities of tomorrow. When the population explosion went from about 70 to 120, we have been so fast in our movements, and today we have almost 48% of the Indian population not being gainfully employed. And the number continues to. And this has affected our admissions. This has affected our teaching programs, collections in schools. And everywhere there is a financial setback because parents have lost jobs. People are reduced the salary in institutions, colleges, schools, factories. Things are not happening the way we were expecting. For example, take our case. Our canteens are closed. The buses are not functioning. The hostels are closed. Everywhere, the practicals are not conducted. And we do have problems, and the parents are not very happy because we are simply asking them to pay fees without regular classes happening in the colleges and schools. It is in this context that we should now re-engineer ourselves to the new environment, get ourselves prepared to teach, okay? To teach in some form or the other, come to colleges, come to institutions, call your students, interact with them, and conduct practicals, talk to them nicely, see that their problems are resolved. When we asked the teachers to come to the college, they said that it's very difficult to come. There is no transportation, all these kind of excuses were giving me. But let me tell you, the municipal corporation, the municipal teachers who have been sending emails to parents when they were volunteering for emails to municipal corporation, but they are all working. They were all working, government employees. Whereas in the private, they find it very difficult to travel, and there is a lot of resistance on the part of the people to come to school or to work. But now we should now learn to adjust with this. We should learn to do with it, and we have to see to it that we create such a situation that maybe 50% students in one day, 50% another day, 20% some day, 20% next day. This way, that way, we should try to see that the classes are conducted in our schools, and we should get ourselves prepared to do this. Now, India was basically an agricultural country, and we still believe and we still have agriculture as the main vocation. And somehow or the other, we have been able to, we did not cultivate a variety of food which is required for the nation. And government did not deliberately, I don't know for what reason, they did not allow the subsidy to be given to variety of foodstuffs, which resulted in a lot of unrest in the country. Somebody has to make rice, somebody has to make wheat, somebody has to make dal, chana, soya bean, something we import, and once we make rice, we go on making rice more and more. That's not the way. We should have trained, subsidized cultivation in such a way so that everybody would have been all the products which are required for the country is produced here only. We don't have to import anything. We will think of kanda or potato when there is no kanda or potato. No. We should anticipate all these kind of shortages, and we should plan up the economy in such a way so that there should be one policy program prevalent all over the country. You and we as teachers and leaders of the community also will have to come to certain kind of logistic solutions to problems. Now, I was thinking about the future. I don't know what the future is going to be. And there have been some reductions in certain areas, and we try to slowly and over the years, over the months, over the months, we will try to restore all the problems. But let me tell you, we are not in a position to continue with supporting the system unless you participate wholeheartedly and unless you bring in students, request them to be regular and active and alert, and see that they complete the portions sincerely. See, for a talk like this, we have only about 350 people out of 2,000. It's not a very good sign. And people don't have time. The heads of institutions may not have informed all the teachers properly, or there is something wrong with the communication procedures of our institutions. Oh, maybe it is a Sunday that uh, you should have taken a satisfaction survey. It's very important that we should have. I think we do have a student satisfaction survey trained. We should develop a student satisfaction survey, teacher satisfaction survey, parent satisfaction survey, management satisfaction survey, and we should see to it that solutions are created for the problems and difficulties faced by students. Leadership is basically a team building activity, and we have to, all institutions have to build teams, one management team with a vision and a mission, teachers with vision and mission, students with vision and mission, and the parents with vision and mission. And we should see to it that it is encouraged in schools and colleges. And I've introduced, now we had a system of introducing heads from, recruiting heads from the same institution, senior people. We are now trying to see that we don't create these kind of things, because then the same tradition is continued. We shall now be trying both lateral leadership, enrollment in the colleges. So we are now introducing lateral as well, along with the regular teaching programs. And because there is not necessary that the leadership that we have is very successful, and they don't create teams. I don't see in any school there is a number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. If number 1 is not there, there is no number 2 or 3, and our management is helpless. And therefore, we request you to find number 2, 3 in your institutions and create teams. When I say lateral entry means what? Another intelligent person enters inside. We have been trying to do that. We are the best people recruited now from outside the circle, so that a lot of changes that would be taking place in the system. Now, looking back, say 52 years back when we started the school, and today we started so many institutions, we bought land, constructed buildings, created infrastructure, brought in students, brought in teachers. Many people retired, many people went away, and it went on and on. And now looking back, say another 100 years from now, how things will work, we do not know. And therefore, it's very important that we create proper succession in every school. Because there is no guarantee that everything is going to be permanent, including me. Let us call it Maya or whatever. But therefore, it's very important that we have to create succession in every school. When we come there, if the principal is not there, there should be somebody else who we can meet. That environment has to be created. And I hope in the years to come, this will happen. And your schools and colleges should have vision and the mission written out, and you should be able to fulfill those visions and missions. And everybody in the institution will have one voice about the objectives of the institution. We must always say, not I, but we. I always tell people that we did it together. Don't say I did it. We did it together. Let us create that culture. And that's a culture I always created. And I don't take the claim of anything, but it's very important that we understand that we as a unit must continue helping the students, helping the parents, helping the community to see that every child is given an opportunity to educate. It is impossible for us to educate everybody. It is a responsibility of the state, and the state, I hope, in the years to come, might think of building up resources like the developed countries, and some of the other government aided systems closed down from 1970 onwards, especially in English medium schools. And now all kind of government support for aiding schools and colleges and supporting education is gone away. And we also don't get the government scholarships on time. And therefore, we do have difficulties in managing the present issues. Of course, the government might pay whatever it is, but then in the years to come, let me tell you that it is not the responsibility of individuals to educate the children. It is a responsibility of the state to educate everybody born in the country with the taxpayers' money. And unless that happens, it will be very difficult to continue with the ongoing literacy programs. I wish that all of us join together collectively and individually in this process of educating the people, educating the community. And we hope and pray that in the years to come, you will contribute more towards the upliftment of the institution as a unit. And we all must collectively join together to face the challenges. Most important thing is your leadership. Every person has to become a leader to manage the situation. I asked one of the lateral entry professors, doctors, an experienced person, what is that you have observed during the last 15 days or 1 month or 6 months? He said the teachers come teach you, tell them to do something and they just do it and go away. That's what he told me. And that should not happen. Every teacher has to take that. This is my institution. I must do it and find out how best you can contribute for new things, new innovations, innovative development of the institution, how to develop research, development, how we should compete with other nations like China or European countries where advanced technology has taken a big leap, and why we are far behind, why our students cannot get employment. All these have to be studied and we should come out with solutions. I have been trying my level best to see that I work every day from morning till evening, go to institutions, and I've been doing it for the last years, almost half a century. I've been walking around, running around, going around institutions, building, doing things. And we want people to come out and do all these that we do so that the institutions will run forever. I wish you all a wonderful Teachers' Day. Thank you.